How are you, mate?
I'm all right, I'm good.
FFP and IIRWI. How do you think it's going to go?
I haven't gone back and forth, but I was so confident it was going to be Fury, and I'm still going with Fury, but I'm less confident than I was maybe last year, 18 months ago, to be honest. And only because, and I don't know, because they don't fight often enough, you can't really gauge if there is a decline. But there hasn't been no stellar performances from Fury for a while, and that might just be out of maybe lack of motivation or like ring rust, or I'm not quite sure, but it might be just the fact that all these fights and the way you live your life over the years, before he got his act together, take their toll, or not. But I still do think, either way, as brilliant as Usyk is, I think Tyson Fury is the most adaptable heavyweight we've had for such a long time, and if he can get it right, if he can be his best, I think, at that weight, beats the best heavyweight version of Alexander Usyk.
You just said there a minute ago about his opposition over the last few fights. His last 4 fights, he hasn't really looked that well. Usyk, on the other hand, his last 4 fights, he's been devastating. Daniel Dubois, there's a little bit of a wobble there.
I don't think he did have a wobble in it. I think what he did is down to, because like he boxes the same way always, like he did as a cruiserweight, except he's not so. He presses you with the front foot and makes you work hard, and he tries to win the rounds or keep them close. But either way, you're working hard, you're busting a gut to either win the round or stay with him. And then once you start to tire, he takes over. That's what he does as a cruiserweight. You haven't got that physical presence of a heavyweight, so he does a bit more guile.
Yeah.
But he makes all these big heavyweights work really hard, and then I'll box him, I'll point him, because he knows he can't knock him out, most of them. And he doesn't try to. He just goes through the motions. He's very methodical and analytical in his work, so he doesn't take any silly risks. And why would he? So I just think even against Dubois had some good moments, and Dubois did really well. But I never thought there was any danger of Usyk getting beat. To be honest, it never. And obviously, I think that low shot, which was a low shot.
Yeah,
I keep saying
I agree with that.
That, if anything, probably give Daniel Dubois a few extra rounds, because he looked like he was starting to tire at that point for me.
Yeah, like you going back on what you just said there, he makes you work with his feet.
Horrible.
His feet are the best in the heavyweight division, I think, by a long shot.
They're some of the best in boxing. Just all the ex-Soviet Union type countries. I say that because I don't want to be upset anybody, but that sort of region,
the Eastern Bloc,
the former Eastern Bloc. They don't have fleet. They're not dancers like maybe Americans or African Americans or Brits or whatever. They're not like the Western world of footwork, but their footwork is just as beautiful. Gennady Golovkin, he's not known for his footwork, but he did the same.
Sublime.
But he would like make you panic with his foot. Obviously, your reputation precedes you after a while, so people expect him to get hurt. Canelo does it in a different way. He's a Mexican, but he does it like he pressures you with the front. He puts his feet right in front of you, and because he can hit hard. You're waiting to get hit, expecting to get hit. And Nazim Ahmed did it almost the best in my weight division. Because you know how hard he could hit. He would just force you to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And that pressure and anticipation and worry about getting hurt makes you think, I've got to get everything faster and tighter. And what happens? You tense up. Yeah. And when you tense up, it restricts your muscles, it shortens the arms only slightly.
And sucks your energy.
Yeah, and also it messes with your judgment of distance.
Yeah.
You punch them where you know they are, but when you're loose, you fling.
Yeah.
When you're tight, you push. And it tires you out, as you said, slows you down, and shortens the punches. So everything you don't want to do, you do by overthinking it. And these guys make you overthink.
They're subconsciously forcing you into what they want you to do.
It's mad, isn't it? And they're so clever at it. And Usyk does it with a calm demeanour. Like, he never really rushes any of his work. Heavyweight, he's had some, not trouble, but he's had to adapt a little bit because he's not the physical presence he was. He was a big cruiserweight. But also, I've got to say about being big, he's a heavyweight now. We've got to stop talking about this cruiserweight moving up. We didn't do that with Evander Holyfield. After a while, and very quickly, we just said he's a heavyweight.
He's an heavyweight, natural heavyweight.
And maybe they're all a bit bigger now than they were when Holyfield was boxing, but you still had Lennox Lewis, who was 6'5", and Riddick Bowe was about 6'5" as well. So he still had those mountains to climb. And I think with Alexander Usyk, I think he's bulked up enough. I feel. He's 6'3.5".
Yeah.
All of it as well.
And he's been stopping heavyweights in sparring now.
Exactly, you know what I mean? So I think, and the way he can move, and I always say about it all the time, there's a semicircle around the body, around your opponent.
Yeah.
And that's the area you have to master. Lomachenko does it with real fast moving and pivots. Usyk does it with just stepping side to side or swaying side to side. And that's all that. All the other stuff is bells and whistles. When you get that little semicircle
When
there,
you control that
you
area.
can control that. I wish I knew that when I was boxing. You know? So I could understand why I was getting beat up.
You didn't do a bad job, Barry.
I
Come on.
understand when people were beating. Why are you beating him up? Oh, that's why you beat him. But that's the secret. And when you make a fighter turn, it slows him down, and it tires him out as well, and they feel uncomfortable to throw.
Mentally
He
draining.
didn't do Andy-Joshua. No, if you stand in front of Andy-Joshua, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, who you
Anyone.
are. Yeah, of course. But like, especially a smaller guy, but like the way he just moves around, making Joshua turn all the time and have to reset, and that resetting is tiring. That resetting for the guys who are 17, 18, 19 stone is demoralising and tiring enough to mean you blowing out your backside after 5 or 6 rounds.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen to Tyson Fury. I think he's going to come in a bit lighter, be more fleet-footed, still try to be aggressive.
But this is another thing as well. I think he's coming in a bit lighter to get the movement.
Yeah.
How are you going to outmove Usyk?
No, I don't. You don't. But he needs movement to be in and out, side to side. He can. When Usyk spins, he's good enough to go with him.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So when Usyk pivots, he can go that way as well.
Yeah.
Where maybe other fighters can't do that because they're more flat-footed, looking for the big shot. So when you do, they got to step the turn, but he can spin. So I think he needs to be a bit light-footed for that. And also knowing there might be the distance, he's still got the natural size to lean on him and do all that stuff that he will do. And I still think he'll try and be aggressive, to be honest. I do think he'll try and push Usyk back. But he's well aware, I think, as well, he needs to have that bit more fluidity to just when Usyk does try and escape, he can go with him to stop him, or when he's trying to attack.
Just cut him off.
He doesn't get caught blindsided, I think so. We would say. It's interesting.
Thank you very much.
No, my pleasure.
Let's get going on Saturday. Take care, mate.
I'll see you later.
You're right though, Barry, yeah?
Yeah,
Good.
good, yeah.